Hi John. Not sure what's the best way to do this. So I'll show you some of the stuff. Obviously not a complete newbie to bow making. Been interested in it for a few years. Obviously followed your channel for a few years. So I'll show you some of the stuff I've done previously, and obviously what I've prepped currently for the bow that I've got here. The one that I was talking about in the message yesterday. Yeah, so let me just dig some stuff out and I'll get a quick little video for you. I'll just edit it all together. Okay, so these, just going through some of the previous bows. Here's a hickory bow I made from a board. This is one of my first bows that I've ever made. It's going back a good few years now. Not a great finish, obviously. Still got the rough saw marks off the bandsaw when the board was cut. Quite a bit of set on it as well. It's quite a low poundage. I think it's about 30 pound draw weight. And here's obviously an ash self bow that I made. Again, going back a few years. This is quite high poundage. This was about 50 pound draw weight, I think it was. Possibly 45. 28. I think it's going to focus. But I did have one of my favourite bows that I ever made. It actually broke. I was shooting with a friend who shoots a 60 pound longbow, laminated bow, and stupidly, obviously, it was quite a bit younger as well. I'd made it a few years ago, good few years ago, 12 years ago, I guess, and I was twisting the string to obviously increase the poundage of the bow, getting carried away and ended up breaking the bow, which is a shame. But it was an ash bow I made from a board, and I'd backed it with linen and Bond. What's it called now? Type Bond 3. It was, sorry, the glue, and backed it with linen, and it actually was a really nice bow. If I can, I'll try and edit a picture into the video for you so you can see it. But yeah, I broke that bow, so I'm trying to kind of replicate it again. I put a couple of recurves in the that bow, and it set really nice. I used a heat gun and oil, but obviously since doing that I've seen damage the bows quite badly with that, and so that's something obviously maybe didn't help with obviously the strength. I mean, it worked fine for years. I've just been stupid and broke it. But this is the stave that I currently have. I'll lay it out on here for you. So this is the jig that I built. It's just a simple jig with a couple of feet. Obviously clamp the handle there, the centre point. I had a couple of blocks either side, and then obviously clamped it down here on the tips just to give it a bit of recurve. Still quite green when I got the bow. So obviously this is the bow. Doesn't look like it's got any set at all, to be honest. Mildly. You can see it better down here. I'll try not to use the angle. I've kept the tips quite long. Quite thick, should I say. I've kept the this is the outside layer of the stave, obviously, to help keep its strength. And like I said, it's still fairly thick. This light's not ideal, sorry. It's still fairly thick. So my stage now really well. I'm getting some flex, and I'm just into sect. There's a little Osage bow I was working on. Again, I put some set in that, not a massive amount. This is about 48 inches. It's only a small, very small piece of Osage that I got my hands on. So, plan to finish that at some point. Just one of those that's sort of been sitting on the shelf, waiting for the day to finish it. And obviously some leather work that I've done in the past. not the best light. Sorry. One sec. There we are. So use some. Like I said, I followed your channel for a good few years. Find it quite interesting. Obviously, similar subjects, similar interests, I guess. So I thought I'd reach out to you and ask for your advice on this bow. It's sort of been finished. I did this during lockdown. I was working split shifts and managed to get hold of a stave of ash. So I whittled this out. But I do have. I'm going to switch videos again. I'll go back to how I was before. 1 second. I have got obviously all the Bowmakers Bibles, turkey feathers, some prep sinew. So here's some strands. Obviously, I've begun prepping. Obviously, I was thinking of using either on the Osage or this, possibly this, because I think the Osage withstands a bit more stress, just from the nature of the wood. I was just thinking realistically, what's your opinion on working this bow down now? Would I do it with purely sandpaper? Would you recommend a cabinet scraper? The other thing I've got here in the handles, I don't know if you can see, this ring. It's just a darker ring for whatever reason, whether it's going to be an issue. The handle's still quite thick. But if I bring your angle down so you can see the flex in the bow. You can see up there. Still quite a strong bow, obviously. I wouldn't really know what to gauge it, but it's definitely a good strength. £50, as I said, at least, if not more. I'd like to shoot around the £40 mark. I have a little synthetic horsebow, fiberglass horsebow, which I like to shoot with. It's quite nice. It's the £40 draw weight. I find that quite comfortable. But let's get some measurements. The full length of the bow is 68 inches, and then from knock to knock, string is 65 and a quarter. It's quite a wide bow, a flat bow. So 55, 2 1/4 inch. It tapers down to 1 1/4 again. And one last thing as well, John, as regard of gluing up the sinew. I bought this years ago. I've not used it still. Have you ever had an experience of using this hide glue? I quite like the Type Bond. I've used this in the past. I can't say I've ever used the hide glue. Obviously, it's affected by the weather. Obviously, we get a lot of rain here in England. I'm Cheshire, England. What are your recommendations on that? I've seen a lot of people use more modern glues, obviously. But if you're comfortable with using that, then, or me using it, sorry, I'll definitely use it. And then I might still go back then with backing it with, if I do use the sinew, backing it with the linen like I have in the past. I've had really good results with that. And then obviously putting some sort of decoration on it. But yeah, I just thought it'd be nice to get your opinion, because obviously I quite enjoy watching your videos. You've obviously got a lot of experience in the bows. So yeah, let me know what you think. Thanks very much, and thanks for obviously offering to to review it for me as well. I appreciate it. I'll see you later.